Alright, okay, so let's walk you through a Nuke Studio demo. So first and foremost, we can, with Nuke Studio, it works as in between editorial, grading, VFX, finishing, and actually Studio can do a lot of finishing inside it as well. So we've got an XML here, it could be an EDO or AAF. If we drag and drop it into our timeline, that then builds a timeline for us. And what we can do is we can actually match this media, but with V7 we can now get in like transforms and crop soft effects with a time warp and so forth. So now we need to match this media, so we need to get the media online. So I'm going to go to my directory, footage folder, and my rushes, and get my DPXs from inside there and match those. We get conforming options that we can choose from. If I click OK, I reconnect 11 out of 13 clips. Now this particular shot, we've got an alpha channel on in the viewer. Okay, so that's supposed to be a picture-in-picture. I'll press 1 over the bottom. This is the artist's actual hand, and this is the shot that they want to replace it with. This is the take that they want to replace it with. Nuke Studio V7, 9 V7. What we've got is the editorial option to enable track blend. When we enable the track blend, we can now comp the actual the take of the hand action that we want. All right. So we've got a couple shots here that haven't conformed. I'm gonna bring in it offline just to see exactly why those didn't conform. So if I go down here and go to my directory, Windows. And the other thing as well is that this is all running off of the system, so I'm reading DPXs off of the SSD drive built into this machine. And the only other thing that we really care about is CPUs to be able to process the information, right? The CPU cores, the amount of cores on the machine. The other thing, we do use a bit of the graphics card to upload textures to the viewer, but that's about it really. It's more CPU, RAM, being able to store frames in your RAM cache to be able to play back, or if you've got SSDs, you can read and write directly from SSD. Let me bring in my offline. So I'm going to go to footage, offline, grab my MOV file, click open. That puts it on a timeline beneath, and that should. Maybe its QuickTime isn't working here. Alright then, so our QuickTime isn't working on this one, but what I want to show you is that we need to replace this shot with some artwork, some extra footage. So artwork, and drag and drop that into the Finder window, open up this. I've got a background plate, so I'm just going to set my in and out points on the timeline. Hit U, shift U to set my in and outs. I'm going to select my track, load up my background, press M on my keyboard, drop that in. Okay, so now I've got a background shot. With this one I've got another alpha kind of text title card that needs to go over this background. Again, I'm loading that up into the viewer, pressing 1, and I'm pressing, oops, I'm on the wrong track there, so I'm going to select video track 2, grab that, press M over the top of this, and that's going to drop it on the track above. So I can actually do compositing on the timeline, which is something that we weren't able to do previously, and I could put my time cut, my edits on the timeline and stack them on top of each other and still maintain my real-time playback. So here I've just got my media track, just pressing M over the top of this, and I'm going to do that again with a couple other bits of elements. So press M over the top of that, click OK. And I'm going to grab, and I can create a new video track. I can create as many of these as I want. The blend track looks blue like Nuke's merge nodes. And I'm just going to load this up and press M over the top of this. So you can see how quickly I'm pretty much working here is because I have the grunt power in the machine to not have to load up frames or do any kind of processing. It runs straight from the hard disk to be able to pull up these frames themselves. Okay, so let's get clear up my in and out points. Go to the top, press play, and you can kind of see how the commercial's playing out. Now, one or two of these shots I'm going to need to do a bit of cleanup work because like he's been tapping on the table, and you can see there's a bit of damage around the eyes that needs to get fixed. So I've got a couple VFX like template setups that will help clean up those marks around the eyes. to give us a clean plate. So I'm going to jump over here, and I'm going to select my export folder. I've got a setting that I need to drop in here called Nando's specifically for this project. So let's go into here, extras, task presets, it's not in there. Okay, brilliant. Editorial. Okay, let's just do a basic Nuke shot. So I click OK on this, close this, save it. I'm gonna go into my project window, edit settings, export, make sure I've got basic Nuke shot with annotations. Right click, export, or actually create comp. I'm now going to point it to my desktop to a generic directory. Desktop test, I'll call it. Click open. That's going to pop open a slug for me to then work in. I can double click this slug, and that will open up a Nuke script for me to start compositing in. So for this instance, if I grab this shot here and have a look at the frame at the front, this has got full Nuke inside of this Nuke Studio program. So I can do heavy lifting compositing, so things like cleanup work. I actually should have a setup for that. So let's quickly jump in here. Tool sets, end tap. This is shot 30. Actually, it's shot 50. I'm going to get my clean plate, drag and drop this in. It's quite a big clean plate, so I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Detach this element here, go up to the top, and add this in. All right. So that's that. Right. And then go to the bottom. Do the same thing. And then if you hit that render button, so as you can see, if you're looking, you can kind of see how we've cleaned up the glasses a little bit. Wow, it's taken a while to give it a second to think about it. There we go. Okay, and then I want to render this to the timeline. Now what's really cool about this machine, like I was saying, with the processing power, we can just click OK, and you will see how quickly this will whip through the renders. So you can see that we're already up to a quarter of the way, halfway, and then I've rendered out our cleanup, and that's good to go. Yeah, I mean, like I said, you spend more time on this, you want to kind of refine it, but the fact that we can jump from the timeline to the compositing back to the timeline, we can add soft effects. So if I've got a grade on this particular shot, I can then add a preset of the grade to kind of change it to a color space or a color that I like. So if I just want to pump a bit of warmth into the shot, maybe boost my gamma information, change the color of, go around and change the color. I could do all of this on the timeline without having to bake it out or render it out. So very powerful workflow, very powerful piece of kit that helps me get these, go through these shots a lot faster. And that's pretty much Nuke Studio. Thank you very much.